one of the world's most prominent authors of a breakup book is finally ready to take the mantle of the world's most eligible bachelor, helping millions of readers around the world to help them with their modern breakup. Daniel Chidiak is the author of
The Modern Breakup. Yes, and Daniel joins us live from Australia right now. Daniel, it's so great to have you with us. So you wrote this huge, super seller book, The Modern Breakup, but you really took time for yourself and you didn't focus on dating to write this book. So talk about your love affair with writing, how you got into it, and why The Modern Breakup. What is this book about?
Yeah. Well, that wasn't my first book. My first book was Who Says You Can't, You Do. And that was a journey in itself. I was never a writer. I only started writing 8 years ago. And I probably subconsciously swore that when I left school, I would never pick up a pen. And if someone had asked me what I wanted to do in my life, being an author would literally not have even been on the list. So that was something that sort of came onto me. And that came through a very hard time in my life. I started my own business when I was 19. I had a clothing business. I was at university and left that to basically start this business with my brother. And that went belly up. And we were together $70,000 in debt. And I was 22 years old. So it wasn't a good start to life.
Wow.
And I remember I was digging holes at the time and literally I was a laborer just to pay off the debt. And all I would think to myself is one day something's going to change, everything's going to get better. And from that point on, I literally became addicted to writing. I was becoming awakened, my thoughts, I was just happy in that moment. It was weird when I felt like I'd lost everything was when I woke up the most and I started to appreciate the small things in life. And I just started writing them down and I would wake up at 3 a.m. This voice, I thought I was going crazy. This voice in my head was just, write it down. I would wake up and I had work at 7 a.m. and I would wake up in the middle of the night and literally just write. So something came through me and here we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Daniel, how important is this journey to, have this self-awareness before you enter into a serious relationship? Because that's really important.
Yeah. Well, I think that if you don't know yourself, then you can never understand someone else. I think all understanding comes from understanding oneself. And I think self-awareness for me is knowing the power that your thoughts have in your own life. And I think that if you take that further, there's an enlightenment that sort of comes. And I think that's leading that life with love. And it's sort of like it might sound cliche, but a universal love more so that, you appreciate things in your life and family. And then I think that you've got room for somebody else, but you need to love yourself and you need to love your life, I guess.
Absolutely. So Daniel, from what I understand, you're single. You're looking for your life partner right now, but you've tried online dating. You're like, nah, not for me. So what are you going to do? How are you going to find your Juliet, your long life partner?
I'm gonna have to fly to Canada, I think, at this rate.
Oh, Sonia's looking. She was smiling.
We'll pull that. We're going to pull that back.
Okay.
I never sort of look for it. I think that if it comes to me, it comes. I think it's more about being open, though. I think I'm a little bit more open now. That thought, like, what if, and me traveling around and, being on my own when I travel now I put my career first for so long and I would push people away. And I think we do that naturally. And I know with young guys, there's this thing, and I think Instagram's a lot to blame for it as well, that by a certain age, you feel like you need to have made it in life. And we'll put so many things to the side just to, pursue our career. But no regrets. That's what I've done so far, and I've loved it. And that question, what if, is starting to pop up, and I'm traveling and feeling that, that something may be missing now a little bit. So.
All right, well, Daniel.
It's all about the balance, right?
Yeah, and putting it together.
Exactly.
Let's talk about your ideal qualities in a partner. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
How's it going to stack up?
Someone that's not closed off. And I say that because rather than saying someone that's open, I think we can all relate to it. But people that are closed off to me and that don't express how they feel, I think that's a very dangerous thing because it just leads to a Coke bottle exploding, eventually. Yeah, it's just like it just gets shaken up, and then one day it's just. So I'm someone who's pretty expressive, and I like that. Supportive. I think supportive for me is another very important thing. I need to be supported in what I do, and I want to support them in what they do equally. So I think we both need to support each other. And I think in the modern world, that's a really important thing. No one wants to live in someone else's shadow. We all want to have our own life and do our own things, and we need to support each other. Family orientated. Family is very big for me. And be who they are. In a world where so many people are trying to be someone else, and we're all trying to copy people and do what that social media star's doing and be who they are and look like them. It's like
those sound like
just be yourself.
Good advice there. Look, Daniel, good luck with your search for your loved ones and your book, The Modern Breakup. Where can people find it? Very quickly.
Most stores probably, but I would say Amazon, I guess, globally.
Okay.
Amazon's probably the number one.
Awesome. Yep. Okay, so people can find your book and find out more about you. Daniel Chidiac, so lovely of you to join us from Australia. Have a great evening, I guess, over there, and take care. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, humanity is peering deeper into space than ever before.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has produced the deepest and sharpest infrared image of the distant universe to date. So the image shows thousands of galaxies. Some are closer and brighter, while others are very faint and far away. It's a small slice of the universe as it appeared 4.6 billion years ago.
Yeah, so later today, a separate batch of full-color images from the telescope are going to be released. Paul Delaney, Professor Emeritus, Department of Physics and Astronomy with York University, joins us live right now via Skype. And first off, Professor Delaney, what are your thoughts? What is your reaction to seeing this for the first time when it was released yesterday, all the pomp and circumstance?
Oh, I just love being a time traveler, Bakari. When I look at those sorts of images, as you said, the galaxies in the foreground, they're 4.6 billion years old. That is older than our solar system. And then the fainter, smaller images behind it, they are probably twice that. So you're looking at the age of the universe unfolding in front of you in sharp, glorious detail. Everything we ever hoped for the James Webb Space Telescope seems to be coming to pass.
And Professor Delaney, one of the fascinating and confusing things is that we aren't just looking at things very far away. We're actually doing a kind of back to the future or back to the past type of thing. We're actually looking back in time. Can you explain that?
That's right. I mean, time travel, Jennifer, for astronomers is pretty routine, but it goes one way. We can't go into the future. We can only go into the past. The further an object is away from us, the longer it takes light to travel that distance. So, if you've got a star nearby that is only 100 light years away, that light has been traveling 100 years to get to you. So you're looking at that star as it was 100 years ago. For the galaxy images that we're looking at here, as we just said, for the foreground galaxies, 4.6 billion years ago, that light left those galaxies and has finally arrived. But the real story is the faint, lensed galaxies that are much further behind, and that gives us insight into an era in the universe which we've not been able to see that clearly ever before, and we expect to be able to push the limits of James Webb even further back to literally within a couple of 100 million years of the beginning of time itself.
Wow.
Professor Delaney, when I was, hearing about this and reading about it yesterday, this is literally just the beginning of, what scientists and astronomers are going to be learning. Can you kind of elaborate on all of this? Because there's a lot to unpack there.
That's right. I mean, we refer to the Hubble Space Telescope, the predecessor of James Webb, as astronomy's discovery machine. I'm not quite sure what we're going to be able to call James Webb, because the information that we're going to be able to sift and sort from the universe will be stunning. We're going to be having a look at exoplanets, planets around other stars, literally weather reports from those planets. We will look at galaxy clustering as it happened literally at the beginning of time, 200 million years after the beginning of time. We expect to be able to examine the planets in our own solar system in unprecedented detail. So every aspect of astronomy is going to see a flood of data that is so pristine that it will answer all sorts of questions that we've been asking for years, but unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to think of it, will ask more questions as a result of that analysis.
And speaking of questions, Professor Delaney, what is the point of all this? I know data is important, but is this data being collected so that we know if Mars or another planet or galaxy is inhabitable for humans? What's kind of the end goal?
Well, there are, gosh, many answers to that, but perhaps the most fundamental is to understand how the universe has evolved. And if we can better understand the way not only our planet and our star system evolved, can we apply that to looking for life elsewhere? The ultimate question of are we alone, while it will not be directly answered by the James Webb Telescope, the collecting of the information, the fundamental building blocks of stars and galaxies and planets, those fundamentals will be supplied to us by James Webb. And who knows, maybe one of those spectra by the Canadian instruments on board James Webb will show us the biosignatures for life around a distant planet. Only time will tell.
Wow. It's literally out of this world. Professor Delaney of Physics and Astronomy, York University, really appreciate your insights, and thanks for breaking it down for us this morning.
And Professor Delaney, live long and prosper.
How do we do it? Like this?
Yeah, like this. Yep,
It's hard, Jennifer, it's hard.
Thank you.
To an ice rink in the winter. I will try ice skating again this year, but honestly, I'm so scared of ice. And I moved to Canada, I love that. I broke my wrist when I was like 12 years old on ice, so I'm kind of scared, but I'm just going to do it. I'm in a new city, I'm embracing new things. I can't get over it. It's so pretty. Look at it. Just look at it. I really want to try some of the food trucks here, but I don't know which ones are good. I was in New York, there were so many good food trucks, so I bet there's some good ones here. I just want to try it and see everything. You guys have told us so many times today that it's National 7-Eleven Day, so do you know what we're doing? Go get a free slappy. It's boiling hot, your gal needs it.
Look, we haven't seen a British invasion on this side of the pond militarily or musically in a while, but two English sisters have captured Toronto and TikTok in under a week with no battle plan, just a charm offensive armed with heart and curiosity. And we welcome the Collins sisters, Christy and Patsy, to CP24 Breakfast. Good morning, ladies.
Hey!
Good to have you. Christy, let's start with you. Look, this is an adventure that was, built for TikTok and social media, but it's not a gimmick. This is legit. You guys have moved here. You have plans to make roots, right?
Yeah, we literally moved here with a suitcase and just like excitement, and we've researched the city, and we've just come in to hopefully stay for 2 years, and if we love it, stay forever, which we do. We love the city so far.
Now, Patsy, I want to know, what are some of you, we saw you there at City Hall talking about food trucks and the big Toronto sign. What are some of your favorite spots and places to eat that you've seen and sampled so far?
I really like the Toronto Islands. We went to Centre Island. We explored that a bit, and that was really fun. I didn't realise there was like an amusement park on it, so that was a bit of a surprise. But I'm just happy just wandering the city and exploring what we can.
Cool. Now, Christy, kind of the same question for you, but I want to know about Dollarama, because that's a real slice of Canadian. Do you have anything like that in the UK?
So we do have like B&M and the Home Bargains in the UK, and obviously we've been planning this trip for so long. COVID held us back, so in that time I've had tons of time to research everything, and one of the things I researched was like Dollarama, like dollar stores and stuff. And then when I actually got there and I saw Dollarama like close to where we're staying, I was like, I need to go in there now. So I went in there and we love it. It was so good.
Now I got to ask you, Patsy, about Timmy's, Tim Hortons. I mean, doesn't get much more Canadian than that. There's a little Bieber connection too. What was that first experience like for you guys?
Better than we imagined. It's cheaper than back home if you got Starbucks. So, and it's also like bigger drinks, but it was really good. Just as part of the Canadian culture for us. So we just wanted to try it, and we've been loving like the ice caps. Everyone recommended that. So, yeah.
Christy, I want to know, where are you guys from in the UK? What was life like back there, and why the move here and why now?
So we lived about half an hour outside of London in Reading, and we just, after like the first couple of weeks in COVID, we were just in the lockdown. We were just like, we need to change. We were both in like office jobs at home, and we just wanted something exciting. We've both done traveling before on our own, and we just thought, let's do something together. Like we grew really close in lockdown as well, and we just like, let's just go. And Canada looked amazing, and we just were drawn to Toronto, and we're here and we love it.
You know, your video, this is you guys at the Eaton Centre, just so genuine, just so, you know, from the heart. You know, Patsy, Bono and Obama are both quoted as saying the world needs more Canada. I want to know, you know, what drew you? Why here? Why Canada?
I think, like Chris said, we just wanted a change of pace. Like our uncle originally said in like the first lockdown, you should look at Canada to move there. And we found the visa program, so we're here for a 2-year working holiday visa, and it just fit in really well with how we wanted to live our life. The culture here is brilliant, and we just experienced so much already that we've just fallen in love with this city, and hopefully we can explore even more of Canada as well. We're hoping to go out west towards Vancouver as well. So yeah.
Well, look, Chrissy, I mean, as far as Toronto goes, what's left on the bucket list? I mean, we've got the CN Tower, the Dome, the ROM. What else?
Yeah, we've been contacted actually by loads of museums here, like the Shoe Museum, just tons of museums to go and have a look. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we got that. We're gonna go to some more bars and stuff. I think there's just so much to see. Like every corner we turn on this city, there's something else, and we love it.
Yeah, we just love the way you've embraced our city, and your videos are awesome. TikTok loves you. You are the TikTok British Sisters. I want to know, when things start to slow down, you have a little time in your job hunt and everything. How about CP24 here at the Temple of News and Rock?
We'll be there.
Would you come and visit? We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you, and we'd love to see your video too. Sisters Collins, Chrissy and Patsy, thanks very much for your time and what you continue doing, and we love it. Just keep exploring Toronto. There's lots to see.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
At the Honda Indy Toronto 2022. We are back. I'm here with Jeff Atkinson, the president of Honda Indy Toronto. Thanks for being here this morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You must be excited. I know today is kind of like final preps, going through some of the last minute tweaks, and then tomorrow it all kicks off with Fan Friday. Tell me a little bit about what people can experience when they come down here on this weekend.
Yeah, so today's media day, but tomorrow's a big day for us. Terra Honda dealers present Honda Fan Friday in support of Make-A-Wish, and through those donations over the years, we've raised over $820,000. So with that, we're excited that fans can come down free of charge for that voluntary donation, experience the Honda Indy Toronto.
Now, what happens? Okay, well, let's start off with the Friday. What happens at Fan Friday? Because I've been down to the paddocks. I know this is really cool. You have access to some of the cars, some of the drivers' interactive exhibits. For someone who's never been down here, what's Fan Friday all about?
Well, there's a lot going on. You can get behind the scenes with the drivers, the cars, the mechanics, and whatnot, but you can experience what's happening in Thunder Alley. And Thunder Alley is the area off track where you can experience some of Toronto's best food and beverage. There's a terrific general admission area called the Food Truck Stop, so I hope fans can enjoy that over the weekend. But if they come down on Friday, what they'll also see is a race. The NASCAR Pinty Series will be competing on Friday afternoon, so we hope everyone enjoys that.
Nice. Now, the big race happens on Sunday at 3 p.m., but Saturday there's a lot of races going on too. What kind of things can people see, especially if they get the whole weekend pass, which you say is a bargain?
It is a bargain. Our general admission tickets are great for the entire weekend. A lot of great places to watch, but we have sports car racing going all day Saturday, in addition to the road to Indy, but we cap off Saturday with IndyCar qualifying, and that leads into a bunch of races on the Sunday. So it's a great weekend to experience the Honda Indy Toronto and the NTT IndyCar Series.
Now, a lot of people who follow this on a regular basis get super excited for some of I forget what they call the guys with right at the front of the whole race and how they're going to fare. Do you have any thoughts on maybe who's exciting to watch this year?
Yeah, it's hard to pick favorites. We have a great lineup of drivers. Whether it be Scott Dixon, Roman Grosjean, Alexander Rossi, you name it, those drivers are competing in this field, and anyone can win. I think that's the exciting thing about the Honda Indy. Who knows going to win that major race on the Sunday, and it's going to be very entertaining and unpredictable.
I love it, and you can find out more information at HondaIndy.com.
HondaIndy.com.
HondaIndy.com to find out ticket prices and all the fun you can experience. We're going to be here all morning. I'm going to try my hand at doing a little bit of flag waving, and we're going to talk to the winner of the 2019 Honda Indy's line. But I am in what's called the start stand. Yes. Is that correct? Okay. Ziggy is here with me. He is a flag operator, not just a flag operator. He's a senior flag operator. And I got to ask you, how long have you been doing this, and what got you into waving the flag?
I've been doing it for about 30 years, and I just, it was a hobby I picked up through a club we belong to, Motorsport Marshalling Services. It runs out of Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. And yeah, it's just a hobby you get attracted to. You pick up a flag and become part of the series, part of the racing.
It's wild. You are living the dream. Now, a lot of people when they're watching, they see the flags waving. They maybe don't know exactly what's going on there. So I want you to take me through a little bit of maybe some of the most important flags or maybe most used ones or interesting ones from that perspective. Let's start off with the green and show me how you wave it as well, because this is very cool when you're watching to get an idea of why.
So this is generally how they start the race. You'll see a green flag at every stage corner, including the starter, and he'll be doing this to get the cars going.
Now, does anyone have an accidental jump start early, or how does that work? As soon as it goes, they go, and you don't really have any issues at all?
No, there's a starter that will line up the field, and if the field isn't lined up, they'll make them go around again. So they'll give them a false start, they'll pull the greens in, they'll put a full course yellow up, and make them do a full lap to start again if they're not lined up properly.
Okay, cool. Well, let's move from there on to the next one, and then you're going to show me, because you must have a sore arm by the end of the race.
No, yeah, a little bit. We get used to it.
You work out.
Okay,
this is a yellow one.
So
what
this
is
a yellow?
Yeah.
This is a caution flag. So if debris or an incident happens upstream of us, we have to wave a yellow.
Wow. And you've got headsets on, so if you can let each other know what's going on if there's a...
That's right. We're all wearing headsets. We're in communication with race control. So if, an example, something happens at turn 3, we're at the start stand here, we'll hear it, and we will pull out our yellows.
Okay, perfect. And you've told me that sometimes you have 2 or 3 flags possibly going at the same time.
That's right, because we might have a yellow flag where there's an incident there, plus we got oil or a wing on the track.
Wow.
So we're showing them a debris flag as well.
And this is so important because the drivers, it's so loud inside, they need to be able to get a visual perspective on what's going on.
Yes, we're the eyes and ears for them around the track.
And so if a driver was seeing these, what would they do?
They'd have to slow down for one because they're seeing the yellow, and then they're going to be looking for debris or oil on the track because they see this other flag.
This is so cool. Okay, show me another one. This is a blue one. I don't think I've ever seen a blue one flown.
So this is used by certain people around the track. There's only a handful of them, and it's to let the slower cars know that there's a fast car approaching you. So basically lapped cars.
Okay.
So if the leader is coming around and he's lapping a car, he will be displayed a blue flag to tell him to get out of the way, basically.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to try my hand just as we throw to break. Let me know, is any skill to like waving it? Is it kind of like...
it's in the wrist. Move your wrist.
So like a figure 8. And this would be the final?
That's right. This is the checker flag. You've just ended the race, Bill.
Oh, and here we go.
There we go.
And we have a winner, a club car. Club car, you're in there. Oh, perfect. You win the Honda Indy Golf Cart Classic. This is a Honda Indy show car. You can come back here when you're down with your weekend pass. And it's also kind of cool. I was going to sit in this, and you can see each tire is being supported by teacups, each one able to hold 387 pounds. But because yesterday was Fry's Day, and I loaded up on fries, they figured that if they put my body inside this car, it may cause disastrous results. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it could hold a lot more. But this is the kind of car you're going to be seeing racing laps around 11-turn course on Sunday. Okay, we're going to give you a bit of a behind the scenes. Pull back the curtain. I'm going to hop into a golf cart here, and we're going to show you Thunder Alley, which is where, when you're down here on the weekend, you can go and find places to eat, places to shop, places to hang out, place to have a little beverage, and it's kind of cool pulling the curtain back and being able to get on the track before everything gets going. This is kind of the prep day, the final prep day, tomorrow being Fan Day, Friday Fan Day, where you can come down for free with a donation to Make the Wish, and they've raised so much money for this great cause, and you can see all this as we get going. And then you got the Pinty races going on, and then Saturday everything really gears up with more races, all leading up to that final big race with the Molsa Indy happening at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And if you want to go on to MolsaIndy.com, you can find out ticket pricing, and it really is an inexpensive weekend. You can find tickets for as cheap for a 2-day as $70, but prices do go up from there depending on how much access you want and how much of the finer points of a weekend you want as well. But it is really a great thing to do. Everyone's dying for something to do now that we're kind of coming into the first summer where we can do things again, and this is an institution in Toronto, the Roar on the Lakeshore, and coming back after a 2 years hiatus. I think people are really excited. So we're making the tour, and we're actually on the track right now. We're making a tour into Thunder Alley, and in just moments you'll be able to see some of the setup continuing underway. And once this is open, of course, you're going to hear a roar, not just from the track, but also from people having a fantastic time. We're going to start to pass by obviously the grandstands over here that allow people to get up there and watch, and make sure your got the sunscreen on, make sure you got your hats, and stay hydrated. But if you want to take a break from it, this is the place you're going to be. the Thunder Alley. Thunder Alley is beginning here. I should know that. I work in weather, right? Okay, and then up here you've got restaurants. Oh, and you were also talking, I'm here with Jack telling me about the Honda Indy.
There's a Honda World.
Honda World, yeah, and what happens in there?
There's a lot of interactive exhibits where they have some different displays, robots, a crash test area, a lot of cool Honda things to check out in Honda World. It's in a big red tent over here.
Yeah,
on our right.
We're just about to pass it, and Matt Reed is going to be able to maybe swing around. And under that tent over there, that's where you're going to get all kinds of interactive exhibits and demonstrations. And that crash test one seemed really cool, too. You can actually watch how they make sure the safety of your car happens with crash test dummies, not camera operators.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Okay. Sorry, Matt, I had to put that in there. So we're moving kind of onto the outskirts of Thunder Alley here, where you can get your beverages, to the Honda, the Power of Dreams. And there's so much going on here, and it's such a kind of expansive space that when you just kind of want to take a break from some of the races, it's easy to do so and have a fantastic time. And you're still in such close proximity that you can adjust your attention back towards the track. Okay, hope you're enjoying that behind the scenes. We pull back the curtain because it's Honda Indy race day. Simon Pagenaud, the winner of the 2019 Honda Indy Toronto. A pleasure to meet you, my friend. We are in front of a pretty cool car here too. You know, we haven't shown a ton of cars this morning, but I got to give the highlights on this. This is one of 100 made Honda Civics, limited edition Type R. Only 100 made for Canadians. They're already sold out, but the horsepower on this, 306 horsepower, and it's super light. You know, it's a pretty looking car, isn't it?
It is a pretty looking car. I can't wait to take it out on track with you, maybe. And you know, we're just going to sneak in and try and see.
I'm in on that. So when we end the segment, I'm going to get in this car and I'm going to drive away with a race winner here. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this year. And, you know, people maybe never have experienced the Honda Indy before. Tell me both what they'll experience and maybe what your mind is going through as we lead up to the race.
Well, first of all, it's an awesome city. Toronto people love the race here in IndyCar, so I look forward to it. Last time I was here, I won the race in 19.
Yes.
I hope I can repeat with my new team, MyShake Racing. You know, this is one of the most exciting track we have on the schedule because it's in the street. Yeah. I mean, this is where you drive your own car, and we're going to do the same at 200 miles an hour.
You're a top 10 racer right now, so that's got to make you feel like you can take this new team, even though it's a new team, almost anywhere. What are your thoughts as you change teams and you get ready for this course? What are the things that go through your mind when you're preparing mentally with your team? And you got to give a shout out to your team because it is a team sport.
It is absolutely a team sport. You know, I couldn't do what I do without my mechanics, without my strategists, my engineers, and obviously our partners. That's what racing is all about. But it's full of excitement this year. It's a new year for me, a new team. There's a lot of new things, and you know, I've been around for a while, so I'm adapting to a lot of new things, and I feel very refreshed. So it's very enjoyable. Can't wait to see what we can do on Sunday.
It's so cool. You're talking about the weather today almost being perfect race conditions. You know, what goes through your mind when, you know, you hear it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, it's going to be cool, it's going to be rainy? Do you have to adjust?
I was listening to you about the rain. I love the rain, but it's really tricky here on the streets because we have different tarmac. So when you go on the concrete like over there, it's really slippery. So yeah, you definitely have to just go with the flow, release the stress, and just go with it and do the best you can.
It's amazing. So Honda Indy fans, they are wild fans. They are there to support. They say the roar on the lakeshore is because of the engines, but sometimes you hear just as loud from the stands. Do you get a chance to kind of get that feedback from fans of what they think of you?
We do, and I'm so glad we're back in Canada. You know, the crowd here just loves motor racing. And as a Frenchman, this feels like a cousin country for me, so I'm really glad we're back, and I hope we can do more races in Canada in the future. It would be amazing.
C'est un plaisir, monsieur. Let's get in this car, because I want to be in a car with a race. Okay. Oh, wow, there's a beautiful car. Okay, buckle up for safety, and then we're off to the races. Oh, my gosh.
Buckle up.
Simon Pagenaud, the winner of the 2019 Honda Indy Toronto. I'm driving next to him. All right, sir, anytime you want.
I think we have to release the parking.
Oh, release the parking brakes? That's
all right, here we go.
Start. Okay, salut! Woo!
Toronto International Samba Reggae Festival is a 4-day event this weekend that'll bring together over 100 Samba and reggae drummers from across Canada, Brazil, the States, and Bermuda to transform the streets into a Brazilian carnival. Let's join the action now as I slide in. Oh, on beat. Pato Irie, thanks for being here on CP24 Breakfast.
Thank you for inviting us.
I mean, this is the soundtrack for the summer, huh? Introduce your crew first here today.
So today we have international guests straight from Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. It's Mestre Memeu of Olodum, which is most famous international band on this kind of music.
We are honored.
She is Maestrina Adriana Portela, the first woman in the whole world to lead an ensemble, just all women.
Amazing.
She's been around for almost 30 years leading this group back home in Salvador, Bahia.
Bom dia. It's incredible. Look, this is the soundtrack of summer. It's the soundtrack of Carnival. It's a soundtrack of World Cup. For me, as someone who's spent a lot of time in West End Toronto and with a Brazilian family member. So let's talk about this. This is the first of its kind and the first time we've had this festival, Samba Reggae. They're very distinct styles, right? Samba and reggae. What do they produce when they come together?
So that was an influence we got back home in Salvador, Bahia. Back in the days around the 70s, 80s, we had the great and only Bob Marley, which was a big influence in Salvador. And we had already the samba, right? So the Jamaican influence of the reggae was really big. And this whole thing came out as a samba reggae.
That is a delicious gumbo, a delicious soup. You know, collecting and connecting all these musicians, because we're talking 100+ people, probably not that easy during a pandemic. A global music, but a global pandemic. How did you do it?
I've been lucky enough to be touring around the world, to be teaching people how to drum. So connecting with them. When I told them we are hosting a festival, I invite all of them to come. Most of them are around the United States, so it's not too far to jump over here and join us, right? We got groups coming from Pittsburgh, Burlington, Vermont. We got people from New York, Miami, Orlando.
Wow.
There's some people coming from Cleveland, Seattle.
That's amazing.
And also we have Montreal, Vancouver, Hamilton, Guelph,
wow.
and Toronto.
And you're straddling with the Big on Blur and the T. Batu initiatives. You're going to be playing Lula Lounge. Where else? What other venues?
We played last night at Lula Lounge. That was the launch of the festival. It was a beautiful show, full house. Tomorrow we are at Big on Blur. It's starting at 5:30 p.m. We're going to have a parade going down the street. It's between Bloor and Dufferin and Bloor and Lansdowne. Streets will be closed. It's going to be free, family environment. Everybody's welcome to come. We're going to be parading, and we're going to have our international guests singing while we are playing. And on Sunday, we're going to have the same parade, but we're also going to have 30+ dancers join us. Plus a full show on stage with the harmony and the whole drumming going on.
And free. I mean, you can't get better than that.
For free.
These rhythms, when this rhythm gets into your bones, you can't not move, right?
Yes.
This is music is medicine, as I always say, and it's been one of the few things that's helped us get through this pandemic too.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you joined us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We'll let you send us out with some music, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you guys for inviting
Pato Irie and crew.
Thank you.
My pleasure. All right, send us out. Again, it's the Toronto
Three.
International Samba Reggae Festival. It runs all weekend.